WEBN brings you the breaking news on the ICC's arrest warrant for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
And Wicked the movie hits theaters tomorrow with early screenings already returning positive results.
And field correspondent Caitlin Williams bakes up a delicious seasonal treat.
All that and much more this morning, Thursday, November 21st on Good Morning Emerson.
Good morning, Emerson. I'm Faith Pinno.
And I'm Max Lasky.
And it's going to be a fabulous and busy morning, so we're going to head right away down to the JPC where Emily Champagne has this morning's breaking news. Emily?
Good morning, guys. I'm Emily Champagne, and welcome to today's WBN News Update. Breaking news at this hour, the International Criminal Court has issued arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, his former defense minister, and a senior Hamas official. All three are accused of war crimes. The Netherlands-based court says it found reasonable grounds for the warrant. The Israeli government does not recognize the International Criminal Court and called the warrants absurd and anti-Semitic. Israel and the United States are not members of the International Criminal Court. While Israel has condemned the decision so far, there have been no reaction from the United States. Ukraine has claimed that Russia launched an intercontinental ballistic missile at the country during an overnight attack. The development comes only 2 days after Ukrainian forces used their first long-range missiles to strike Russian soil, a move Moscow had long warned would be met with a significant response. The Kremlin did not immediately respond to the accusation, with officials declining to further characterize the missile that was used. As the Trump administration continues to build its cabinet, one nomination remains under fire. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz has been nominated for Attorney General by President-elect Donald Trump. However, the Republican had been the focus of a House Ethics Committee investigation. A report was due to be released but was put on hold once Gaetz stepped down. The Ethics Committee met yesterday and decided not to release the report at this time.
Matt Gaetz has denied that he had anything to do with paying for sex, with sex with a minor, with illicit drug use, and there's a lot of relevant documentary evidence that was compiled both by the Department of Justice and by the House Ethics Committee.
The committee will reconvene again on December 5th to reconsider the issue. Senators on both sides of the aisle had called for the report to be released before the confirmation hearings yesterday. Gaetz met with several Republican senators yesterday. He was escorted by Vice President-elect J.D. Vance. Boston police are searching for suspects after nearly $250,000 worth of jewelry was stolen from a Back Bay store. Police say on Tuesday afternoon, this woman walked into the G20 spa on Exeter Street. She's described as a female in her 20s that is about 5'4" with blonde hair featuring dark roots. Police are asking the public to come forward with any information. And get your raincoats ready. Rain has finally made its way into Massachusetts. Here's a quick look outside this morning. It has been nearly 2 months since the Boston area received at least a ½ inch of rain from a single storm, and 3 months since the city has even had an inch of rain altogether. However, the rain just recently arrived in the state with the heaviest rainfall expected to fall late this morning into the evening. While the day of rain will not end the drought, it certainly will help, especially in calming brush fires. That's all I have for today's WBN News Update. Can you believe it really hasn't rained in 2 months? I'm so glad we're finally going to see some showers.
Crazy.
Honestly, I probably would have told you it rained last week. I know that's not true, but I can't keep track of the weather. That's why I need Tony here.
Right?
I miss him on a Thursday.
Right? I can't believe it either. I was just telling my dad the other day, like, we have been so lucky to have no rain, you know, considerably beautiful weather for the last 2 months. So, yeah. Kind of gearing up for it.
I'm excited for the brush fires to tamper down, though. However, those are a little out of control.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Yeah, thank you so much, Emily. Obviously, never too early in the show to start talking about sports.
Thank God.
Ever.
Ever.
And with the Celtics off to a very strong start to their season, Boston fans are crossing their fingers for a back-to-back championship run. Just this past season, the Boston Celtics brought home their 18th championship to Titletown after defeating the Dallas Mavericks in the NBA Finals. Today, the Boston Celtics will make the traditional champions visit to the White House, where they'll be welcomed by President Joe Biden a day before their game in Washington against the Wizards. It's customary for champions from all American sports leagues to visit the commander-in-chief after they win a title. However, in the past 4 years, the practice has been sporadic. Celtics star Jason Tatum said, quote, "I think it'll be cool. One of the perks of being a champion is going to the White House. You've seen all the former teams, or most of the former teams attend, so we'll have that moment and take pictures and videos. It's something that'll last a lifetime." The Celtics first visited the White House as champions in 1963 in the John F. Kennedy administration, and last went in 2008 when they met with former President George W. Bush. Boston will look to leave our nation's capital with a W in the win column tomorrow.
And in more Washington news, many Republican leaders have leaned into anti-transgender messaging in recent years. Some even campaigned on taking stances against issues such as transgender athletes, gender-affirming care, and inclusive restrooms. Now, the issue that was once talking points will play out on Capitol Hill. Republican Representative Nancy Mace introduced legislation Tuesday that would ban transgender women from using facilities like bathrooms and locker rooms on federal property. Instead, all individuals would be required to use spaces that correspond with the sex that they were assigned at birth, regardless of how they identify. The move comes just 2 weeks after Delaware's Sarah McBride became the first openly trans woman elected to Congress. When asked by reporters Tuesday if the ban had anything to do with her new colleague, Mace confirmed, saying, quote, "Yes, and absolutely, and then some." She added that she hopes the new law will protect women and girls in private spaces, she says, where they're often most vulnerable. McBride responded to the measure on Wednesday via social media, writing in a statement that she plans to abide by all rules put forth by Congress, now and moving forward.
We turn now to entertainment, where a popular musicals film adaptation is set to hit theaters tomorrow. We're so excited,
I
honestly.
can't wait.
Yes.
Every time I see the trailer, I just get full body chills.
Right?
Yes.
Full body. It's crazy. And all the videos that have come out on social media,
Yes.
the buzz is real, the hype is real.
I can't wait.
It's going to be great.
So we're going to go to Sam Lawrence, who has the latest on Wicked's early reviews. Sam, what are the people saying?
Thank you, Faith and Max. Good morning. The film adaptation of the musical Wicked comes out tomorrow, and it's projected to be one of the biggest movies of 2024. Forbes writer Paul Tassi said the film has received a, quote, unprecedented, near-perfect audience score of 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. The critics have given it a 92%, which still places it in the top 10% of all ranked movies. The film stars Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo as Glinda and Elphaba respectively, and it will take audiences on a journey through the Emerald City of Oz to learn what happened before Dorothy showed up. The two singers developed a strong bond while working together on set, and they've shared many emotional moments on their multi-month press tour for the film. On Tuesday's episode of The Kelly Clarkson Show, Grande and Erivo clued the audience into just how far their bond goes. The film's cast list also includes Jurassic Park's Jeff Goldblum, Bridgerton's Jonathan Bailey, Ariana Grande's boyfriend and SpongeBob the Musical star Ethan Slater, and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon star Michelle Yeoh. The movie is currently being shown in theaters across the country for pre-screenings before its official release tomorrow, so make sure to get your tickets before they sell out. The funeral service for former One Direction star Liam Payne was held yesterday in Amersham, England. All of his former bandmates, including Harry Styles, Zayn Malik, Niall Horan, and Louis Tomlinson, attended the ceremony to pay respects to their lost friend. The boy band was originally formed back in 2010 on Simon Cowell's talent competition show The X Factor, but fans first met Payne 2 years earlier during his original audition for the show when he was just 14 years old. It was at this time that he met his future girlfriend, Cheryl Cole, who was a judge on the show at the time. The couple waited until 2016 to begin their relationship, and 1 year later, they welcomed a baby boy named Bear. Cole attended Payne's funeral service solo, but reunited with Harry Styles and James Corden during the ceremony. Simon Cowell also made an appearance at the funeral and was seen comforting Payne's parents outside of the church. Payne's casket was brought out on a horse-drawn carriage covered in white floral tribunes, one of which read Son and the other read Daddy. Elle magazine held its 2024 Women in Hollywood celebration this past Tuesday at the Four Seasons in Los Angeles, and actress Demi Moore reunited with some of her most well-known counterparts from past films. She and Cameron Diaz reconnected after starring in Charlie's Angels' Full Throttle together all the way back in 2003. Moore played the film's villain, so it was nice to see her and Diaz getting along on the carpet. No mixed martial arts battles happened as far as I'm aware. Moore also caught up with her co-stars from 1995's Now and Then, Rita Wilson, Rosie O'Donnell, and Melanie Griffith. Once the evening got underway, the three actresses came together to welcome Moore on stage, where she gave a speech about the importance of women pushing boundaries in Hollywood. You can check out Elle's website for the full list of this year's honorees. That's all I have for entertainment this morning. Back to you two at the desk.
Thanks so much, Sam. When we come back, Allie Evans brings us more Celtics news, along with some of the morning's top stories. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. Earlier, we talked about the Celtics' travel plans for today, but how about that win on Tuesday? Big win.
Exhilarating.
Yeah, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Allie Evans definitely has more thoughts on that game and much more this morning, so let's head down to the gym to see Allie.
Good morning, Faith and Max. In a heavyweight Eastern Conference matchup, the Boston Celtics snapped the Cleveland Cavaliers' record 15-game winning streak. Tuesday night at TD Garden, the defending champs faced their toughest test thus far, the undefeated 15-0 Cavs. Leading the charge for Boston was, of course, Jason Tatum, recording a near-perfect triple-double with 33 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. But not far behind him was Al Horford. The C's veteran big man helped push Boston over the edge with his performance on offense and defense, recording 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. And a nearly perfect showing from beyond the arc, going 4 for 5 on threes. In a post-game interview with NBC's Abby Chin, Horford spoke to the importance of a win like this for Boston.
Well, I mean, it's just, more for us than anything. We'll continue to get better. We know we have a long way ahead, but it's good to get this win here at home.
Now 12-3, Boston will look to the group stage of the NBA Cup tomorrow night against the Washington Wizards. In 2 years, after a record-breaking season, the Boston Bruins have fired their third-year head coach Jim Montgomery. Montgomery's exit comes amid the Bruins' unusually poor start to the regular season with an 8-9-3 losing record. In the past 2 seasons with Montgomery as head coach, the Bruins boasted winning records and 2 playoff appearances. After the 2022-23 season, the 55-year-old even won the NHL's Jack Adams Coach of the Year award. In a statement released by General Manager Don Sweeney, he called the firing a, quote, difficult decision, but that the inconsistency and performance of the team became a concern. In the meantime, Associate Coach Joe Sacco will replace Montgomery as interim head coach. And in some Emerson College news, senior hitter Amelia Combs has been selected for the all-new MAC women's volleyball second team. This is Combs' 4th time being honored with the selection, being chosen every year for college career. The standout hitter led the league in kills with 402 and led the Lions with 145. Exiting her senior year, Combs now holds the school career record with 1,179 kills in 101 matches. That is all I have for sports this morning. Back to you guys at the desk. So how did you guys feel about that Celtics game? Do you think that the Celtics are on top of the East now? Do you think that the Cavs are still kind of topping them? What do y'all think?
I don't know. I'm a Boston hater, obviously. So I think the Cavs are going to be just fine. It's one game. They'll learn from it. They'll go back to the drawing board and figure it out.
Yeah, I think for the Celtics, the Cavs are still a serious threat in the East, but I thought it was a well-deserved game. It made me incredibly anxious to watch. I wasn't sure if they were going to pull out a win, but I think we're not. Now is not a time to be too confident if you're a Celtics fan. That's all.
Yeah. It's early in the season.
Yes.
Plenty of time.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, Allie. I know we're both looking forward to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Very much.
We know you're going to be in New York.
Yes, we know you're going to be in San
Texas.
Antonio.
Yes,
Very cool.
Yes. Any favorite New York Thanksgiving meals?
New York Thanksgiving meals. Well, last year I had Chinese on Thanksgiving, which is really, really delicious. But this year I'm hoping for some biscuits and turkey, mac and cheese, a little more traditional for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
What about you? What do you look forward to?
Well, I'm the one doing the cooking this
Oh.
year. Yeah, everybody prepare yourselves. I think it'll be good, but I kind of get to be in charge. So a lot of mac and cheese.
Nice.
Biscuits.
Yes.
Not doing turkey, and I'm not mad about it. Turkey haters unite. That's all I have to say.
Thanksgiving without a turkey. Okay.
Just believe me. Just trust me.
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a full report when we're back.
I'd love to hear it.
But in the meantime, somebody else did some cooking. Our field correspondent, Caitlin Williams, is already preparing for Thanksgiving dinner. She's better than us.
I know.
And she's making pumpkin banana bread. Let's take a look.
Thanks, Faith and Max. It is a great morning because as you can see, I'm actually in a kitchen and I'm not in the field. And that's because today I'm going to be showing our Emerson community a recipe. And because I know we love a good sweet treat today, we're going to be making a pumpkin banana bread. And it's perfect for fall, it's easy, and best of all, it's delicious. So let's get started. Okay, so a key ingredient for this recipe, of course, is bananas. You want to use bananas that are a little, ripened because that makes it sweeter. And so here is our first banana that we're gonna go in with. And what you want to do is once these are in, you want to just get a fork and squish these down. Okay, so our bananas are all mashed. And now I'm gonna go in with half a cup of brown sugar. You can use light or brown, this is light. And this recipe will actually also call for white sugar as well. So we'll bring you back for that. All right, so in with our white sugar. And we're just gonna give that a nice, beautiful mix. So next you're gonna go in with a softened stick of butter. This one, I left it out for 30 minutes or so, being a little stubborn. And then I put it in the mic for about 10 seconds, got it soft. You can let it stay out, whatever you pretty much prefer. So now you're gonna add 2 eggs. Like so, 1, 2. So prepped off screen were our dry ingredients, and this is just flour, baking powder, baking soda, and a splash of cinnamon. And now we're just gonna fold that in. I'm just mixing in that flour. It's getting a little messy here, but that's what happens in the kitchen. That's what happens when you're making something good. And you can see our batter is thickening up, which is really what we want. We want that consistency to bake into a perfect bread. And though the hand mixer is not, necessary, it is nice to kind of just work through the clumps since we did have like those bananas and they can be really, really clumpy. So now we're going in the oven at 350. Okay, so after a long 40 minutes, we have taken it out and it looks amazing. Is gorgeous, and we're actually gonna have our cam op Kaylin come on and try it.
That was really good.
I actually also just took a bite and it is amazing. So with that, I'm Caitlin Williams with Good Morning Emerson. Back to the studio.
Thank you so much, Caitlin. Wow, that looked fantastic.
Yum.
I just have to say, shout out to Caitlin Williams. Crushes every single package.
It's like my favorite time of the Thursday.
No, it's awesome. So I just had to give her flowers. Anyways, we will be right back with more of this morning's top stories.
It recaps Mayor Wu's clash with the Trump administration's future border czar.
And Maddie Barron, editor of the Berkeley Beacon, is here to talk about the magazine's upcoming release. Good Morning Emerson will be right back after these commercials.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. We go now to Noah Berkowitz for a look at the unfolding tensions between Mayor Wu and Tom Homan.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thank you. Now, tension between the incoming Trump administration and Boston Mayor Michelle Wu could be cut with a knife. Around a week after Wu said that the city won't cooperate with federal immigration officials, incoming border czar Tom Homan called the Harvard grad not very smart. Mayor Wu is among a group of Democratic leaders here in Massachusetts saying that the Trust Act will help them fight deportations. Michelle Wu responded to the verbal attack saying, "People can say whatever they want about me." And Matt Gaetz is lobbying senators behind the scenes as his bid for Attorney General remains in limbo. The controversial AG nominee has remained in the headlines as the House Ethics Committee weighed whether to release a report on him. That report is expected to include evidence of sexual misconduct and drug use. Now, Republicans on the committee voted to withhold the review. They'll vote again in early December when a completed report is expected. In a sign of support, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance appeared alongside Gaetz yesterday, hoping to galvanize Senate Republicans to confirm his appointment. And finally, the Manhattan DA office has agreed to postpone President-elect Donald Trump's sentencing. The district attorney's office is said to be open to the possibility of pausing the case for the next 4 years. What they are opposed to is waiving Trump's criminal conviction. It's a historic moment for Trump and his team. Just a year ago, Trump was facing 4 different indictments. Today, he's unlikely to see jail time at all, and perhaps even sentencing. That's all I got for politics this morning. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much, Noah. Now don't go anywhere, because when we come back, the editor of the Berkeley Beacon magazine, Maddie Barron, joins us to talk about their upcoming magazine launch. Stay tuned.
All right, coming back in 10 seconds. Ready, camera 1. Camera 1, get a wide shot of the entire thing, and in 3, 2, 1, take it. Talent cue.
Welcome back to Emerson College. Emerson
Camera
trails
4, get a shot of the players coming across the court.
10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point. As
Camera
the
2,
team
close up on the person
finishes
shooting.
their timeout. Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away and score this big
Camera 1, get a close up, follow them over.
Emerson trails WPI 10 points. 10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point as the team finishes their timeout.
Camera 1, close up on number 33.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away.
Follow the ball, follow the ball.
That's actually makes me mad.
When I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
What? Oh! Okay, cutting. Sorry, can we get some of this?
Where in God's name is the gaffer's tape? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Casey, and we're the National Broadcasting Society.
Come out to some of our weekly workshops, or work on some of our sets.
Explore the bigger picture with NBS.
We'll see you there.
All right, let's get another take. Camera, sound.
So yeah, it's like Emerson's very own late night talk show. We've got games like Jimmy Fallon, and we're hot like Jimmy Kimmel, and we've got guests. I'm gonna talk to them. You can talk too, I guess. there's a live studio audience and they're just gonna laugh at everything we say, and it's gonna be awesome. It's just this never-ending cycle of positivity and community and late night content. I'm gonna wear a suit. You should probably wear one too. What do you think?
I think you should drink up, because it's closing time.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. We are here this morning with Maddie Barron, the magazine editor of the Berkeley Beacon. How are you doing this morning, Maddie?
I'm lovely, thank you.
Of course, of course.
Thank you so much for joining us. Fun fact, Maddie and I were in our first journalism classes together.
Whoa.
Yeah,
We go
that's
way
very
back.
true.
Yeah.
We go
We go,
so way back.
but now you're
Really?
doing huge things.
We're on the up and up.
You really are. This
On the up and up.
semester, the theme of the Berkeley Beacon magazine is burning the house down, right? Can you give us a little insight as to why that was the inspiration, how that came to be?
So it's really important to me that I pick a theme that is universal to all kinds of writing, not just journalism. And so I know going into it, we were approaching an election, a very important election. And so I knew that was sort of the elephant in the room. And so it definitely needed to be addressed, but I didn't want it to be all about, you know, an election issue entirely. So I was sort of thinking about, just in general, I knew that the election, no matter what the outcome would be, was going to be pretty hectic. And so I was thinking about Talking Heads' song "Burning Down the House." And so I figured that no matter what the election results are, America as a whole is gonna, the people are gonna be burning down the house essentially. So the theme of the magazine is a collection of like 80s sort of dystopia, retro futurism, and all those things that kind of contribute to how it feels to be alive right now.
Wow.
The writing sounds incredible, but visually, I'm
Yeah.
excited for that.
Yeah.
80s dystopian futurism.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Just
super
a bunch
cool.
of buzzwords.
Well, I'm curious to hear from you, like how the magazine is made. Like how does it come about? What goes into the process of really sitting down and designing this?
Yeah, so the Beacon is obviously known for our weekly newspaper, but it was sort of my second semester of freshman year. They wanted to bring the magazine back, and so we did an edition that semester, and I had so much fun with it, and I love journalism, but I love also being able to have a little fun with things. And so the next semester I wasn't on campus, but the following one, so last semester, we did a magazine. And basically we just have a pitch meeting. We take up pitches, writing, photography, anything you really want to make it. And then over the course of the semester, we go through rounds of edits, and then I hunker down and design for
cool.
several hours.
Awesome.
That is very exciting. It sounds overwhelming.
It is so overwhelming. The amount of caffeine I've consumed, this might be my last interview ever. Like any second.
Ours
Nice.
too. We're ready to just like absolutely explode.
Just any
Yeah.
moment, I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy at least we get the last word, the last Maddie
Yeah.
Barron word. And speaking of which, you have your own piece in the magazine,
I
correct?
do,
Can you tell us
yeah.
a little bit about that?
So I actually, it's called Burning Down the House. Perks of being an editor. You get to pick the title. So on election day, it was super last minute. Myself and a photographer I brought along with me, we went to New Hampshire, and we went to this Irish pub / restaurant. It's like a family establishment.
Love it.
And it was for the New Hampshire Republicans, like election watch party event. And the piece is just, I didn't know who was going to win the election. I didn't know where the night was going to take us. And so the piece is essentially sitting in this Irish pub surrounded by Trump supporters on election night and reporting sort of what that was like watching. It wasn't anything fancy. It was the real demographic of Trump supporters in this election. So I think the piece was sort of me just grappling with the reality of that and sort of how it happened.
That sounds really interesting, Maddie. We can't wait for it to read it. How can people find the magazine? How can they get their hands on it? Will there be a digital copy?
Yeah.
So,
So there will be a digital copy that you can flip through on the Beacon website. There's a section for magazine, and you can look at last semester's too. And so all the stories will be available to read on that. And there will be physical copies that will be left at some newsstands, and we're also having just a little like launch event for our contributors and other things. So
exciting.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And make sure to follow the magazine on Instagram at Berkeley Beacon Mag, and catch the release of this semester's issue later in the semester.
That's all we have for you this morning. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Faith Pinot.
And I'm Max Lasky. Thanks for waking up with us.